Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for creating fire nail art with the one and only Chelly's Nails. I'm Julia. I am your host, your moderator here from Booksy, and we are joined by the one and only absolutely amazing Michelle Soto, aka Chelly's Nails. And we just want to thank you for being here today. This webinar is sponsored by Booksy as well as our educational partner, Illinois Beauty CEU. I'm going to mention them a couple times because at the end of today's event, it is very important that if you are here attending this webinar from either Illinois or Florida, please make sure that you fill out the link that I drop at the end of the event so that we can get you an continuing education credit for this class. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I am dropping our Instagram links here in the chat. Obviously, we'd love you to follow Booksy, but definitely follow Chelly. And if you have any questions as we go, you can drop them in the chat and I will relay them to Chelly. So before we get started, Chelly, Michelle Soto, the one and only, will you just tell us, for anyone here who might possibly not know everything about you already, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and why we should be so excited for today.
Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for the invitation, obviously. I'm very excited. This is my first class through Booksy, since I'm a newbie ambassador for Booksy. And I've been a nail tech for 25 years now and counting. Nail artist, I specialize in, I would say, a little bit about everything when it comes to nails. I have 3 kids, business owner. I work with Valentino Beauty Pure. I'm the one that does the product development and trainings as well. And a lot of other stuff. I don't even know what to call myself when it comes to Valentino because I do so much. Anything that's needed from myself, I'll do in Valentino. And here today with you guys, we will do Illusion French nails, which are super, super popular. So I'm super excited to show you guys the way I do it.
Yeah, we are excited to have you. I think maybe the best word for what you do is either everything or master. So, okay, I am seeing, we're just going to give shout outs to a couple people who've been chiming in the chat. So let's see. Crystal, good morning, ladies. Yolanda, good morning. Jordan, good morning. Audrey, hi all. Alicia, hello. Alma, hello, beautiful. Elia, good morning, everyone. Karen, good morning. Cynthia, good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So we're going to get things switched over to the nail cam. I'm so excited for this. You guys are in for a real treat if you have not been following the Chelly's Nails Instagram and seeing these amazing nails that she's getting ready to teach us. Oh, you're in for a treat. So we're going to switch this over. And don't forget, if you have questions as you go, you can drop them in the chat and I will feed them to Chelly, to Michelle, and we will take it away from here. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm muting the mic.
Wait, no, keep that one unmuted. Sorry about that. This is the fun of technology when we have 2 screens. Perfect.
Okie dokie. Hold on. I feel like, can you guys hear me? Well,
yes, we can hear you.
Let's get started. I already have the tip here placed. I'm going to do 3 colors. Let me show you guys here real quick so you guys see this one. Oh, my nail cam is working, Julia.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Hold on. Wait, I almost forgot. Let me turn on my lighting. Okay, here we go. That way you guys can see it better. And this is what we're doing today. With this one, I did 3 colors. I used a dark purple, medium purple, and a light purple. This one is available in my beloved collection, collaboration with Valentino. And these 2 will be available pretty soon in other new collections. that are coming out. So the first thing I want to make sure is I open up my jars, my pods. So I decided to do it with this gel just because it has a thicker viscosity, a little bit thicker than we would see in gel polish. I like to use this type of paint because since it's thicker, my gradient comes out better and faster. With gel polish, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I also do it with gel polish. The thing is, with gel polish, it'll take me a little longer for it to blend together. And I am mixing this one, as you guys can see, because there's a separation in the color. I haven't used it in a while.
So now that
the
separation that you're
viscosity.
talking about, is that pretty standard? Is that something that people should be worried about if they see the separation like this, or is it just standard and they don't have to worry at all?
So when it comes to this, you always have to make sure you mix your gels. It could be a gel polish or a pod. You always have to make sure you mix it. You cannot leave the separation of the gel itself, because if not, it won't work. So you just make sure you give it a nice stir. Usually when we don't use them for a while, this will happen. And I am going to stir my next color here real quick. Same thing with gel polish. The thing is, with gel polish, you roll the bottles, you never shake, because if not, it'll create bubbling and you'll take that right to your nail. And let me mix the darker one as well, just in case. So when it comes to my gradients, I like to start with my darker color first. Now I have my two brushes that I will be needing. I am using a flat brush from Valentino. I already cleansed it prior. I was using a gold. You can kind of see a little bit of gold specks in here. I try to clean it as best as I could, but we still see a couple of specks here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let me pull this nail out real quick. I don't want it to damage my silicone hand. And let me grab my first color, which is the darker purple. For me, you guys can do any color. So I'm only going to do my first color right here, right at the edge of the nail. It's my left side.
We have a request from Yolanda. Yolanda is wondering if you could just say again, what are the two brushes that you're using for this?
The brush?
Yes.
Yes, I'm using a flat brush. Now, each time we pick a color, I'm cleaning here in my little oh goodness gracious, my little board. And then I'm going to pick my medium purple right next to the darker one. And if you guys can see, I'm basically stroking my brush and blending it in at the same time. Now, if I need to come back from my darker side to blend it in a little bit more, I make sure I clean it. Let me try to keep that in frame. I make sure I clean my brush again, and I'm going to start again from my darker side into that medium purple. And you guys see how it blends in perfectly. So now I'm going to grab my light purple and I'm going to put it at the right edge of the nail. And same motion, just going stroking, stroking, stroking to create my gradient. And there you see the gradient already perfectly. So now, because I'm using a clear tip, I would do 2 coats of it. If you are doing it in nail that has a cover acrylic, you probably don't have to do 2 coats. It has enough coverage. So let's cure this real quick. I'm just going to leave it right there and place the machine.
So we have a couple comments in the chat that I just want to highlight. Shaylin and Priscilla both saying super fast blending. That was very fast. And I think that's so indicative of what you did with the 3 colors instead of the standard that a lot of people do with 2, where then you just have to blend and blend and blend. But you had it so fast from those 3.
Correct, Julia. When it comes to gradients, the same thing as any ombre when it comes to, that's basically a rule. When it comes to ombres, when it comes to acrylic ombres, to any type of ombre, you start with a darker color and you might need 3 colors. You might need maybe 4, especially when we are doing dark colors. We should have that middle color in between because sometimes they won't blend properly or as good as we would want them to. So now again, I'm going to go again with my second layer, like I said, because I'm using a clear tip here. So now, if you guys see, this is a lint-free wipe. I have it a little damp with alcohol. So I make sure in between colors, I cleanse it as well. And let's grab this darker purple again. And let's go right at the edge. One of the things, Julia, is I don't like to be wasteful at all because all these products, you know, they cost money. So I try to work as clean as possible, as fast as I can. Also, because if this is a service for a salon, you should work a little faster. So anything that makes my life easier, I'm going to use or I'm going to apply.
Absolutely. That makes complete sense.
I know a lot of people say, oh my God, that French takes such a long time. But in reality, I feel that it doesn't that much. It does take a little bit, but it shouldn't take that much. That's one of the reasons I go ahead with the paint instead of polish. It's faster with the paint. So now I'm going to go ahead with my 3rd color. I already did my 2nd color. Make sure you guys clean in between. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush here in between. Now let's say, for instance, I want to make my light purple a little lighter for it to be more illusion catching when we do the 2nd part. I'm just going to add a little dab of white right on the little edge. So now with the brush, I'm stroking, and these blend pretty well together. And super easy. Here we have that perfect blend. If you guys see while I'm stroking from light to dark. I'm not going to go back again into my light color because if not, I'm going to contaminate it and damage it. So basically, I stroke from here and I go all the way and I never go back. So I make sure I clean my brush again, and I'm going to grab just a little dab of white just to make it pop a little bit more. And again, remember what I said. I'm never going to go back if I'm doing this motion. And there we go. There we see it lighter. A little lint right here. Okay, that's perfect. Now, I think you guys hear all my clicking and clacking. I like to close all my jars. I don't like to keep them in the range of my light because they can get damaged with any exposure to light. That's how we ruin our gel polishes. We ruin our gel brushes. We have to make sure we keep everything away from the light. And let me give it a 30-second cure. Any questions from anyone?
Yes, sorry, I was trying to answer and Shaylin was helping out, which was amazing. So Shatila says, are those all Valentino pods?
Are they what?
The colors. Can you tell us where your colors come from again?
Oh, the colors are from my collection, from my collaboration with Valentino Beauty Pure. The only color that we have available right now is this one because it's on the Beloved collection. The other two colors will be released pretty soon.
Perfect. And then other comments.
But you can use any type of. No, go ahead.
I just wanted to let you know, Yolanda, I think, speaks for all of us, saying that's so cool. Never thought to add white. And we can all clearly see in the video here what a difference that little bitty line of white makes. Also,
yes,
Leilani says,
it made
wow, first time
such
trying
a huge
it.
difference.
Yeah. Leilani says, first time trying this, it was so easy. So cool. It sounds like we've got people playing along at home, which is even better. That's what we want.
Yes, absolutely. So now the technique with this is we have to do the same thing, but on the opposite side. So where I started with my darker color, I'm going to start with my lighter. And again, I need to moisten my lint-free wipe a little bit more. As you guys can see, I moisten it here. And I am cleaning my brush. And with this design, not only you could do this, there's so much you could do. It's just all in the imagination. Don't stop yourself. Try out new things. Practice. If you don't like it, you could just wipe it off before you cure it. That's the best thing about gel. So I have a little particle here, a little lint. Let's take that out because if not, it'll ruin my whole design.
Absolutely. While you're grabbing that, we have a question from Valerie. Valerie said, did you just put the paint on the side tip of the brush for the whole brush or on the whole brush? And I believe that she means for that white.
Basically every color, as you guys can see, I'm using it on the side of the brush, basically the side of the brush that's going to touch that side of the nail. So on this side, I did it on the opposite side of the brush.
Perfect. So Valerie, hope that helps. And so as Shelly is switching directions for the illusion part of the look, I'm just going to drop a link in here for everyone who's in our webinar today, because if you are interested in joining Shelly on Booksy and being part of the overall Booksy marketplace and the Booksy community, we have a link in the chat where you can join the Booksy community with a 2-week trial, see what you think, experience how our reviews, our marketplace, our client interactions work, and see what you think. So we hope you like it.
Yes, so now I'm going ahead with my second color. And I have someone in my house whistling. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but my house is always super busy. So I am so sorry if any inconvenience.
We have a soundtrack. We have a soundtrack to the webinar.
I try my best, right? I guess everyone knows working from home or doing social media from home, it's challenging with everyone making noises.
So we actually have a great question, which I'm happy to answer, but I'd love to hand it to you first. We have a question from Yolanda because I specifically mentioned the Booksy Marketplace. And the Booksy Marketplace is obviously what clients see versus what providers see. So Chelly, can you tell us a little bit about what difference you see in having that client marketplace where artists can be discoverable that way?
I mean, I'm going to tell you something, Julia. I'm not sure, but I believe that Booksy is the only one that gives artists or their people that are registered exposure.
Hmm.
Like Booksy also brings you clients as well. So I love it. And all the upgrades and of marketing that you can do your own flyers and all that stuff
Hmm.
on Booksy. I'm so in love with that. You could just use whatever Booksy has, or you could use your own. I love the feature that you can do quotes. I was like, this is so cool and so easy.
Oh,
If
good.
Because if I'm trying to make a flyer on my own, like I'll use Canvas or something, and it's like, a couple of steps, and it's like a little tedious sometimes with Booksy. I thought it was so fast.
Oh, good. That's the goal. So for anyone who's not entirely certain what she means, she's talking about the Booksy social post creator. And if you're ever wondering about that, our Booksy customer support team is happy to walk you through how it works. It's one of my favorite features, and you can put your own images and artwork in the background, and there are also royalty-free images that you can use. Okay, great question, because you've just transitioned colors and you're going the other direction. We have, let me scroll back up. The comments are coming in very fast. We have a question from both Anilu and Marley. Did you apply a top coat before
No,
switching directions? No. Okay, so
no.
tell us why that wasn't necessary.
So there's no need for you to apply top coat. Actually, if you do, that's an extra step that you're doing without no need. It takes up of your time as well. So because the colors underneath are already cured, they won't get damaged at all when you do the swiping and the cleaning part. So no need. Now in this occasion, I am only going to do this layer on top. I will not be able to do my second layer as I did the first time, because if not, I am going to cover the whole design and it'll get ruined. So I'm staying in the same place a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead now all the way to the end. And I have my second gradient on top of my first gradient. And now is the time for us to wipe off and clean and make our desired design. So the first thing you guys need to know is you guys are going to grab a brush that you guys don't use, that only use for this. Okay, this is a brush I use for this. Let's put these here to the side. Let me cover them because I don't want them to get cured. And another thing that I will do, I have a little container here with some alcohol. And let me grab another lint-free wipe.
And for anyone who doesn't know, can you just tell us why it's important that you don't want to use this brush for anything else?
Because it's a brush that you're constantly soaking in alcohol, and usually it will get dry and stiff later on. So this is the only reason you're going to use it, just for this one. Every gel brush has to stay wet or damp, and this one does not. So now let's start our wiping process. Basically, we're creating the negative spacing. And as you guys can see, you start seeing the ombre that we did in the background. Now remember, you cannot cure that second part, because if not, you won't be able to wipe it off.
And we have a question in the comments. Can you just say one more time what it is that you're using with this brush to wipe off this top coat?
Alcohol. All I'm using is alcohol. Now we have that one already. Now let me try the second one. Now you need to be very careful with your wiping, because once you wipe, you can't paint back on it. So that's the tricky part. Just be as careful as possible.
So this is a question from me. The audience may know the answer, but from my perspective, you're clearly always wiping left to right, regardless of which side of the nail that you're on. Is that deliberate due to the fact that you're going light to dark?
No, it's basically because I'm right-handed, so I tend to, go to that side first. Again, we're just trying to keep it as sleek as possible. And this is where the patience comes in.
And then can you tell the group again the exact type of brush that this is that you're using?
This is a 3D brush that I'm using because it's nice and small and it has a nice tip. But you guys can use different brushes. Not necessarily it has to be this one.
Perfect.
It's
Great
easier for
question,
me
Debbie.
because it has a nice tip.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see, a question from Yolanda. Is there a way to obtain this video? So great news. If you're following along at home and you're going, oh my gosh, I want to be able to watch this later. No worries. This video, along with all of our educational webinars, will be available on the Booksy YouTube page. I will drop that link for all of you in the chat in a moment. I do have to say, folks watching this webinar after the fact will not get that CE credit. That is exclusive to all of you who are here joining us. But the video itself will be available on the Booksy YouTube page. Either later today or at the latest tomorrow. And then, okay, another question for you, Shelly. Audrey wonders, is that 99% or 70 for your alcohol?
Use 70. It'll work perfectly fine. Obviously, at this point, I would rotate the hand a little bit in a different angle and clean it towards this side. But we have the camera right here, so I am not doing that at this moment. And all I need is this last part right here.
Follow-up question, can 99 be used if that's what the nail tech has?
It can, yes, it can be used.
Gorgeous.
And there it is, the same pattern that we have over here. Let's cure it so we can top coat it. So if you guys see here, let me show you guys a little boo-boo that I did. There's a little piece right there that I touched with my brush. And remember what I said, once it wipes or you clean, you cannot go back with color. So it's super important that your brush has a nice clean tip. And you guys also can tweak it with a smaller detailer brush to wipe and clean those little areas that are very, very thin. So we are going to wipe this. No, we are going to top coat it with non-white top coat. And 30 seconds for that.
So here's a great question from Audrey. Can you use a stripper brush to do the design, or do you recommend sticking with a detail brush versus
No, they can use a striper brush. Anything that's thin enough, you can use.
Perfect. And then don't worry, this webinar is not over yet, but I'm just dropping another link in the chat because if you're watching this going, oh my gosh, I love this, I need more. We do have more ongoing Booksy Education webinars. So please tell your friends, we want you all to get this education and get those CE hours. So on next Monday, on the 19th, we have Go Backstage with Bird Mena. Bird is, of course, a brilliant barber and hairstylist, but he is also an amazing educator who travels the world doing festival scenes, concert scenes, trade shows. So if you're ever wondering about how that works, how to make those plans, anything like that, we'd love to have you at that webinar. Or if you have any barber or hairstylist friends that you want to be there, let them know. And then on October 3, we will have another nail art webinar, nail art with the Queen of Bling. Yes, that's right, Jenny Bowie, Nails on 7th. And you can join either or both of those webinars at the link that I've just dropped in the chat, which is our Booksy Education webinars page. So that's helpful, everyone.
And I applied my top coat, and let's cure that again.
And then Michelle, Chelly, I know that you're not seeing all of these in real time as they're coming in, so I just want to let you know, Yolanda, beautiful, Leilani, oh my God, I'm in love. Let's see, Holanda, that's nice. So it's not just
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Shaylin, effortlessly done. Karen can't even speak for the fawning emojis.
Okay, and
beautiful.
There we have the whole set together. So one thing I recommend is when we do this technique, if you guys notice, this one probably is a little lighter than the rest. So when it comes to every type of design, try to do them all at the same time. So that way you follow the consistency of the color that you guys have. Because this will happen. If you guys just do one nail and then finish it and then do the other hand, you might get a different type of color, even though you're using the same thing.
So we have a great, it's a comment from Yolanda, but I'd like to address it. Yolanda says, I bet it looks amazing in matte. And when you were first posting about this trend to get ready for the webinar, you actually did a matte design. So can you tell us what changes that you make there and what would have you choose one or the other? Is it just on a whim or do you take certain things into account?
So I'm gonna be very honest. I'm a matte type. I'm a matte lover. I love matte, but I did notice a lot of people in the comments were like, oh, shiny looked better. So I decided to do this one shiny. That's the only reason, because I love matte. I'm a matte girl. And I also did it with the magnet as well. So that one is pretty easy and super fast with the magnet, since you don't have to do all this.
Is there anything that you'd recommend differently when you're doing a magnet design? Anything, let's say, that they should really take into account differently with a magnet design than this?
The type of magnetic gel polish that you guys have is one of the key factors. So try to use something that has a nice quality of the magnetic effect. Actually, this technique, Julia, is pretty old. This is back like 2018, 2019. but someone did it in a French and it revolutionized everyone. So we're
Hmm.
here back at it again, doing the same technique, but with a different type of design. And again, this is up to you guys. Anything that you guys want to do, it doesn't have to be a French. I actually want to do one just with circles or like little square patterns. It's going to look pretty cool. So, up to your imagination. Anything you guys feel like you can do, it's possible.
Mm. So yes, we're getting lots of agreement on that on nail trends recycling. This is actually a great point. Leilani says, mine did not cure fully and I went to top coat it and then it messed up. So I know that we all know general tips for curing, but do you have any like master tips when it comes to really being certain that your nails are cured other than just baking them for 24 hours? Because that's not a good
Okay,
solution.
so sometimes we have to make sure also the wattage of your lamp, the type of bulbs that it has. If it's a UV or a LED lamp, I highly recommend only using LED lamps. I do not recommend using hybrid lamps, the one that has UV slash LED, because their wavelengths are not stable. So LED is the route, is faster, and wavelengths are consistent. Also, the position of the hand. Sometimes the person slants their hand a little bit and it doesn't cure on one side or it doesn't cure on the other. So just make sure her hands are positioned correctly. And if you feel like that 30 seconds didn't give it, so just do a 60 seconds. And always try to like look at it and maybe touch it a little bit with your finger. And if it's too sticky, put it back in there, because you will still have like a sticky layer. That's normal.
That's brilliant. That's a phenomenal tip. So I've just added this in the chat, but I'm going to say it out loud as well because I know some people are joining us on the phone. Do you have other questions for Shelly? We're so lucky to have this amazing educator here. So give us,
Take advantage.
yeah, take advantage of this. This is like really awesome. And then shout out to Karen who says already registered for the other webinars. We love to hear it. I can't tell you exactly what yet, but there's yet another nail webinar that we are going to be having still in 2022. And then we are lining up a fourth for the beginning of 2023. So definitely bookmark that page. But if you ever lose that page, you can also go to the Booksy Instagram and click the link in bio and you'll see all of our upcoming webinar links. So just as a reminder. And Shaylin says, let's run and go get Shelly's pods and cut 2 hours of blending into 2 seconds. Oh, well, your
It's
marketing's
true.
done.
You guys saw how fast I did it. Like, this didn't take the whole hour of the demo that we were supposed to do, because it was just so much faster when you do the
Mm-hmm.
gel pods. So, not saying that you can't do it with gel polish. Again, you could do it with gel polish. It's just going to take a little longer for you to blend it.
Right. So maybe that's the difference between if you're doing a set that you're, say, going to ship out or have available versus doing it on someone in person. That's a very, very good option to consider.
Yeah. Another thing that you guys can also do is probably add a white base. Like
Mm.
if you're painting on a canvas, canvases are always white. So you do a white base and then put all your colors on top, and you shall be good to go.
So we have several different questions. I'm going to take them sort of in reverse order. Audrey is wondering, and the answer is yes, but can you elaborate? Can this be done on short nails? So obviously the answer is yes, but tell us a little bit about how you would change things if you were doing this style on a really nice short nail.
Actually, I did do them on shorties. I have a couple of clients that only do shorties, and I give them the same love. So what I did with that one was, since they were pretty short, what I did was basically just like a little French peekaboo, and it looks so cute.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
you could also do lines, you could come from one side and clean, and you'll have nice lines right there. It's all about the illusion effect. You could also do like a medium sized little circle here and another one right here on those shorties. Again, it's all up to your imagination, but I have done them on shorties and they look so cute.
So Valerie's wondering, do you use that 3D brush when you're doing more standard white French too? She's really admiring how crisp it looks here.
No.
Okay.
So I just use this brush just to clean. That's it.
Perfect. Now, I have not missed everyone else's questions. We are going to get to them. But for those that were here mainly for this exact thing and need to head out, I'm going to drop a link to you right now, because if you have attended this webinar live and you are in the states of either Illinois or Florida, you are eligible to receive a free continuing education credit from Booksy in partnership with our amazing educational partner, Illinois Beauty CEU. So I'm dropping that link right now. You'll also see it in the email that you get after this webinar. And don't worry, you'll be able to access that form still when the webinar ends. And now I'm going to go back up to some of those older questions. Oh, and Shaylin says, thank you so much for answering that and for your time and for just doing this in general.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. By the way, I would love to have those CVC credit.
I think we can make that happen.
So people, make sure you do it. You're here live. Make sure you do it. It's free. It's free credit.
Absolutely. And before we go to those questions, if you know of anyone else who still needs CE credits, make sure that you let them know about some of these other educational opportunities that we have, because we really like that we can offer that to our community. And the more people that use them, the more that I can go back and say, see, this is important. We have to keep having these credits for people. So just saying.
Yes, because a lot of classes that we do online, we don't offer the CE credits. So
absolutely.
It's like, take advantage of this opportunity that you guys can actually have the CE credits.
Absolutely. So, okay, we have a very similar question from three people. Jordan, Belkis, and Alonda all are wondering things. Well, no, hang on. I'm mixing a couple. Jordan and Alonda are wondering, do you have any upcoming webinars or classes that you're going to be doing that if people want to find out more education, more info from you, aside from your Instagram, are there places that they should go?
So my next class, sorry, that I haven't announced yet will be in New York in November. So that will be a 2-day training. I believe it's November 7th and 8th. I'm not sure. Don't take me on that one. But it's November. I think it's the second week of November. I haven't announced it yet. I am going to post the flyers pretty soon. So I am trying to be everywhere, but it's pretty hard with all the work that I do. But I am trying. I just hosted one here in Florida, and hopefully I have to go to California. I was trying to make it this year, so I'm not sure, maybe December.
Mm-hmm.
So, and online classes, I do not do online classes. I can't, I don't have the time either. So this class with Booksy was really good for everyone, because I really don't do it.
Brilliant. Okay, so hopefully that answered those questions for you guys. Let's see. Now we have 7. Okay, I'm hearing from people. Yeah, I need 8 more credits. I'm so excited. We've got people begging you to come to the Midwest, which, as a Chicago girl, I will echo that. But let's see. Alicia says, do you have to be a Booksy admin user to utilize the CE classes? So Alicia, for these 2022 classes, you do not have to be a Booksy Biz user to get this CE credit. These are going to be offered to literally everyone who is attending these webinars, because in Illinois and Florida, because we want to make sure that we can offer that. Now, in the future, that may shift to where everyone can attend, but that is going to be something specific to the Booksy community. So I'm going to take this last opportunity to say that if anyone in here is not currently using Booksy, I heard from several of you in the chat that you are, and I love to see you all here. That's amazing. But if you're not using Booksy and you're interested in trying Booksy and joining Chelly on our platform, I'm dropping you a link right now. You can join the Booksy community with a 2-week trial, see what you think, get a feel of it. And we have a lot of really great Booksy webinars that are specific to our actual app itself. So if you're in here and you think that this is really, really great, but you're not sure how the social post creator that Chelly mentioned worked, or you're not sure how to set up automatic reminders for your clients, things like that. I've just dropped one more link. If you are looking for in-depth training in the Booksy app itself, you can join an Intro to Booksy Pro webinar. There's a few different kinds. You can find them in that link. And oh, Yolanda says Booksy is the absolute best. It's easy more than a booking app. Thank you. We're so glad to hear that.
It's so true. It's super easy. And it has the add-on features too. I love that feature.
That one is amazing, and it's brand new, and that really came about from our nail community specifically.
And another thing I love about Booksy is that you can check out not only through Booksy, but it lets you add your square or anything on Booksy. I thought that was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And you can also get a Booksy card reader now, so that's very cool. Okay, so Yolanda's wondering about add-ons. And since you mentioned that, can you tell people, if they don't know what those are, why does that matter for a nail tech? Why do add-ons matter?
Us nail techs, we do too much in a service. So let's say, for instance, I divide all my services with set prices. I also put on the description that these prices are beginning prices. Like, it starts from this and it may, increase. So those add-on features is when you add other type of services. Let's say, for instance, we did a toe polish, boom, we use the add-on to put it there and add it to that service. So that is an amazing feature, which I absolutely love. A soak off, let's say, for instance, add it on. So that's an add-on. So I would say those examples pretty much.
Perfect. Absolutely. So does that make sense? If anyone has any follow-ups on that, you're welcome to add them here. I see one or two people still typing, and I want to give you guys a chance to ask your question. Okay, Valerie's wondering, are the CEU hours considered in person or not? Valerie, I do not actually know the answer to that, but if you fill out the form, you will receive the contact from our education partner, Illinois Beauty CEU, and it will all be spelled out from them. And on that form, you'll want to put the standard things. There's a couple questions about the class itself, including the title. You have to, of course, include your license number. You want to list your name as it's listed on your license. That does make it very easy for them to get that credit to you. Crystal, yes, and Crystal's wondering, does Booksy work outside of the United States? Booksy works in several different countries. Let me see if your email is connected. It should be, and if so, I will submit your question to our Booksy customer support team so that they can get you connected with the right folks to get that answered for you in depth.
Another thing that I did love about it is that you can change the language.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome.
Good. Yes, that's
because I have a lot of Spanish community, and they're always asking, but I don't understand it, but I can't. I'm like, no, girl, you can switch the language.
Yes, and that makes a huge difference. You're absolutely correct.
Oh, yeah. Such a huge difference. Well, guys, whoever joined me, make sure you tag me in your recreations. I will be posting them on my social media. I love to share all your recreations, anything that you guys do. You tag me in my stories. It's easier for me to share it in my stories because I see it faster than if you do it on the feed. But yes, share, because I will share.
And I'll say the same for Booksy as well. We absolutely, we would love to see content from everyone who has attended this webinar. So please tag us in those stories as well. But ongoingly, one of the things that I manage is our social media campaigns. And I love to see our Booksy providers tagging us in their posts, in their reels. That gives us a chance to find you and reshare your work amongst the 90,000 people who are interacting with us on Instagram. So that makes a really big deal. You can also find us, of course, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the places.
Every social media platform, basically.
Basically, yes. So we are now at, one final question. To recap, the flat brush and the 3D brush are the two that you use today?
Yes. Flat brush to do my ombre, and that 3D brush to cleanse, to do my negative spacing. Basically my little lines in French.
Perfect. Great question, Devin. And then as a reminder, once this webinar is completed, it will be ending up going up on our Booksy YouTube page, so you'll be able to find it there. Thank you so much for joining us. Chelly, do you have any final words for everyone here today?
I just want to thank everyone who joined us. I know it's pretty early for us nail techs, but you guys made it. You guys are here. Now you guys get your CE credits. And stay tuned because you guys will see me more on Booksy webinars. So more classes.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We hope that you found this valuable. We were so glad to have you here. And I hope to see you at future webinars as they come down the pipeline. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.